Hi guys. So for the past few years, I've been working on Battlefield models. Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, obviously came out later, and some games in between. Um, I've been always interested in models, specifically of Frostbite-driven games. So I've been doing some research. I've been on and off, like I said, for a few years. But came to this point where I think I'm ready to release the scripts I've got for 3ds Max to import character models. It does work for the weapons, it does work for the vehicles and statics as well. Um, of course, you all have seen already probably the Battlefield 3 character models and vehicles and static buildings and stuff. But what my script it does uniquely is it it doesn't deal. You don't have to. You don't need any external programs like HexDLBJ or anything else. It actually is heavily based on HexDLBJ program made by Chacote on Zentex forum. Thanks to him. Um, yeah, so without further ado, I'm just gonna show how it works, what you actually get in the end when you import the models and that sort of stuff. So here you see is a character from a single player. Uh, as far as I remember, his name is Al Bashir, if I'm not mistaken. Um, it's basically a random model that I chose. The script works and imports all the character models. It's just something I stumble upon by accident. Um, so so the script imports the geometry without the textures for the moment. It doesn't deal correctly with the textures for the moment. You have to do some manual work to get the textures to show properly. But what it does import is it does deal with the geometry fully, uh, and it does have all the bones and skin applied to every single object that you're importing it. So I'm just going to unhide the bones. So basically, all the skeleton data is there, and you can basically move all the limbs, and it's all weighted properly. Well, basically, it's all been done by dice. So okay, all the facial rig is there. Um, um, at some point, I'll probably add an external access to the all the bones on the face and probably the limbs as well, because it's kind of awkward to get to them now, because you might keep selecting the geometry instead of the bones. You can switch a filter as well, actually. So um, so the geometry deforms as it was made by dice. So um, my script basically uses their data. Um, Obviously, I haven't got to the animation part yet. So all the bones, all the animations you have to do by hand, obviously. But it does work. Um, you know, it's all there, and it it's all up to you to do what you want with it. Okay, so I'm just gonna reset the scene and I'm gonna try to import some models. Okay, so before you can use my scripts, you obviously need to deal with game files because they are in unreadable file format. So you need to use an external script, and that is done by Mr. Frank Elstner. I think that's his name. Big thanks to him. He's without him, none of this would be possible. I'm going to put the link into the description and all the guides for his script is going to be in the in the link. So I'm not going to go into that. After you got your game files extracted, and it's going to look something like. So if you go into your folder, it's going to look like chunks and bundles. Or something similar, very similar. In fact, it should be identical. So you're gonna get lots of files, res, EBX, blah blah blah. None of these files are actually useful. So I've made a small app that deals with those files. Two apps that you actually need. One is to deal with the textures, and the other one is for the mesh and chunk file management tool. I'm gonna put the links into the description as well. They're pretty much self-explanatory. They're gonna have a few warning tabs, you know, to let you know what you're doing. Okay, so once you have dealt with dumping the game files and managing the textures and the chunk and mesh and chunk files, we can actually start importing stuff. So for that, we're just gonna have to go to MacScript, open script, you navigate to your download folder, and you're gonna have free scripts. So there is an order to things that need to happen. For example, if we were importing a character, we need to import the bones first. Well, actually, we can get all of these open. Let's see if it works. Yeah. Okay. So we got all free scripts here. Now we're gonna run them. So, like I said, there is a certain order. So, for example, if we want a character, you obviously need to have bones first to attach the mesh to. So we're gonna import the bones. And to have bones, you're gonna have to dump, well, not dump, basically convert the EBX files, which are basically text files. So you'll get something like this, skeletons. This is where interested in the skeleton file, at least for the moment, character skeleton file. I'm just gonna open it. It's got all the skeleton information for the character. As far as I know, it is same one for all the characters in game. So this is the only one we need to be interested in. So you need to have those, and then we can start importing bones. I'm gonna click on Bone Maker, evaluate all, and I'm gonna select the Venice and Skeleton 01 txt, which has the that's the file that has all the skeleton information. Okay, that creates a bone structure, a skeleton. So we're all good there. And now we're going to import the mesh. So we click on this tab, Mesh Importer. I'm going to go evaluate all. And we're going to choose about a civilian. I'm going to start from head. So let's grab the mesh file. The script only requires a mesh file. It normally knows where the chunk file is, but at some instances it might ask you for the chunk file's location. So just navigate to the chunk file's location and click open. The second open file dialog asks you for oh, that's my mistake. I'm gonna have to fix that. It basically asks you for the texture, and we're gonna find the textures. The textures usually are just next to the mesh file or mesh file folder. So I'm just gonna go into textures. Oh yeah, we're importing head, so we're just gonna click that for now. You only need to select one texture because it basically only the script only wants the path of the files. All right. So we go ahead imported. The skin is applied. The bones are there. Everything seems good. Let's drop in lower body. At this point we can select pretty much anything really. It doesn't matter because we'll still going to have to rework the textures later on. Okay, so we got the lower body. The skin is there, the bones are there, all good. I'm gonna do the upper body. Yeah, because that's what the models in Battlefield 3 look like. Normally they got three parts: is lower body, upper body, and head. Some of them vary, but usually it's like that. Yeah, let's do the upper body. Doesn't matter anything. Give it a second. It's not the quickest script of all time. Okay, so the model is there. We've got everything we wanted, so now we can rotate it. So I'm gonna hit H. I'm gonna select AI trajectory, which is the first node or the parent node of all the rest of the nodes. I'm just gonna rotate it. All right. So let's deal with the textures now. And as you can see, there's a layer manager, and it automatically creates a new layer for everything that the scripts import. It's creates a layer for the bones. No, that's interesting. Oh, okay. Yeah, so the civilian doesn't have its unique object name, so the layers are not named properly. Well, they are named properly, but they don't have like unique names like anything but Blin, obviously. So let's see if our bones work. let's deal with the textures. Okay, it's gonna be a bit more difficult to find them because they have no names again. Just Blin 4. I'm gonna assume this is our head. Is it? Yes. Alright, so just gonna select a specular, a normal map. By the way, I strongly, because um, normally when you use my tool for the textures, it gets you a DDS files, and some of those files are not ideally, how do I say it? They have not been dealt with properly because some of them thumbnails doesn't work. Basically, there's a problem in the header, so some of the programs and Macs they throw errors when you click on it, and it basically doesn't want to work with it nicely. So I strongly suggest you convert all of the textures uh, using there's a program called Noses. Um, I'll put the link in the description as well. So basically, I suggest you convert all the textures into PNG or any other format but DDS. Okay, so just gonna select civilian head normal, and we could try using the hardware shading. Okay. Looks a bit plastic, but still a bit more interesting than just matte surface. Okay, so it's basically the same procedure for the rest of our body. For this instance, you just need, obviously you need to navigate. Okay, I'm gonna assume this is our upper body. Yeah, and upper body, specular, normal map. Can go and set it as a hardware shaded. Okay, and that probably is our lower body. Yep. Okay. Just gonna specular and normal map. Lower body. Okay. Doesn't look too bad. And that is basically it. I mean, you can take it from here. You know, it's up to you what you do with the models. Okay, so we're gonna try importing the vehicle now from Battlefield 3. So for a vehicle, you don't really need a skeleton. Uh, it doesn't really use like a skeleton like for a character. It uses more like a set of nodes for the vehicle to be transformed by. So we're just gonna import those now, and I'm just gonna use A10 attack plane for this example, and we get a cloud of these engons imported, which don't really mean much now. But these are actually the positions of the parts of the of the vehicle that we'll be importing. So I just import the vehicle. Let's navigate to vehicles, A10 Thunderbolt mesh. Now remember, the mesh file you're importing normally needs to have a chunk file next to it in the same folder. Be aware of that. Otherwise, the script's not going to work. Okay, so and then it asks for the texture, which vehicles Thunderbolt. Where is it? Oh, I haven't converted it. Oh dear. Okay. Give it a minute. It takes a while. It's a slow script. I probably should be using functions instead of for loops, if it says anything. Keep in mind, in some instances, depending on the complexity of the models, it can take even 5 to 10 minutes to import the model. I'm not sure exactly why for the moment. I'll I'll take a look at it later, but for now, just keep that in mind. It might take a while. Okay, so when the vehicle is being imported, as the script detects that the vehicle has parts like chassis, wheels, suspension, parts like that. If it detects that in the file, the script is gonna ask you whatever you want to separate them into separate objects, or keep them as a single object. So we're just gonna go and say yes, and the script's gonna go through every single object and detach its parts into separate objects. I don't know if that makes any sense, but should in a minute. Again, give it a minute. This is what looks seems like a complex model. Or maybe not. Okay. Right, so we got the A10 imported. Now, for example, oops, got quite a few parts. So this is gonna be decals, yeah. Probably gonna use layer manager here. Hide bones for the moment. Let's start. What's this? Oh, skeleton. Okay. Right. How many parts we got? Oh, quite a few. Okay, let's hide the bones. For the moment, the script does not, as you can see, it does not set the parts automatically to where they're supposed to be, like they are in game. So we have to do it manually just for now. I'm probably gonna fix that in the future. Okay, so we're gonna set pivot to pivot. No, does that look about right? Yeah. Okay. Yep. Okay. So the vehicles are obviously they are a lot more complicated because you have to put all the parts into their locations. But the again, the locations are indicated by these bow nodes. So you just click Alt A and just align it to the pivot to pivot, and it's right there. So it should make this kind of work, a lot easier. Uh, that looks actually like it's a piece from here. No? Nope. Okay. This one? Nope. Um, weird. Did it? Nope. Hmm. Well, basically you get the idea. Is like I said, it is a little more involved than the characters for the moment because I didn't have enough time to deal with the vehicle skeletons yet. So it might be put into the later update, but for now, this is this is what you get. And the textures, they work pretty much the same. Although in this instance, apparently the the materials and the object names are properly named. So we're just gonna go A10. Gonna switch the all files. Okay, there is one little but for the Battlefield 3 because, like I said, I'm making the script for to be compatible with most of the Frostbite games. So um, it's because of that. The other games uses another. Well, basically they use inverted channels for normals and the UV maps. So um, some of the models might appear like they don't have the correct UVs, but it's all easily solvable by clicking this map channel slider here. Okay, and you're all good to go. Do again, I should have converted these to PNGs to make it my life easier, and I'm probably gonna um, as I try to import this normal map, it's probably gonna throw an error, as I suspect. Oh, oh, that's strange. Okay, well it doesn't for some reason. Okay, and like I said, this is basically it. You just keep working on the all the parts for the vehicle and getting the textures right and move all the bits and pieces into their correct positions. Yeah, so that's it for the vehicles. I'm gonna reset the scene and we're gonna try to import a static object or a weapon. Why not? Okay, so for a weapon, we can try importing. Um, you need a separate skeleton just like for the character, but the weapons have their own skeletons. So we're gonna import the weapon skeleton first. Okay, that was weird. All right, okay. Keep in mind there's a one variable that you need to change, at least for the moment. Like I said, we'll be updating the scripts in the future, but for now, the the character skeleton has 213 bones. So the weapon skeleton has got 25, so we need to change that variable to 25 for the script to work. Okay, so we got our weapon skeleton. And now I'm going to switch to Mesh Importer and try to import a weapon. Okay, we're gonna M27, third person. Let's make sure it's got a chunk file next to it. Yep, okay. It's asking for the textures. Ooh, what was it? M27. Okay, what the textures are. That's weird. Alright, okay, sorry. There must be. Where is it? 27. It must be in the. Oh no, it's not. That's weird. Okay, I'm not gonna bother with the textures because I can't figure out where they are. Yeah, well, I'm just gonna skip them. Okay. So the weapons here, it is rigged to the skeleton. And that's another slide, charging handle, whatever it's called. So that is how you import the weapon. I can give a quick go to try to fix the textures. Yeah, okay. We haven't defined them. Alright, let's try another weapon. See if that works. Again, we're gonna import the skeleton. Oh, 1P. Oh. Right, let's try AK. Third person. Okay. Weapons. AK. Okay. This one does have the texture, but it is not PNG. We're gonna use the DDS file. Okay. weapons there. Hide the bones. Try the textures. Ammo, aiming dot, AK. Alright, so I think it's all good. By the looks of it. Yeah. Yeah, it's all good. So that's how you import the weapons. See if we can get a specular map. Now, for some reason, Battlefield 3 doesn't have normal maps for the weapons. Don't ask me why. They just don't. Probably DICE uses some fancy new technique applying normal maps, some sort of a normal map to the weapons. But that's basically it, really. For the weapons, we can give another go to try and import a static mesh of some sort. Now, for that, we obviously don't need any bones or anything. So I'm gonna go into architecture. ME residential. Nope, it's not there. Barrack. Okay. Okay, texture. Not sure about the parts, separating the parts. I'm just gonna skip it for now. Okay. Alright, so that's our barrack. The textures. Rotate it. Again, the script is expecting a PNG format, and you just have to switch to all files to get the DDS. And I strongly suggest using PNG instead of DDS. And yes, as far as I know, the static objects, they got a way more complex system for the textures, for applying the textures. So you might have to work on it, you know, a bit more. Some of them even use tiling. Some of them use offset, texture offsets. So it is something to explore. So that's how I import the statics.